The following episode contains or may contain spoilers. So if you're spoiler sensitive, maybe beware.
Yeah, you sensitive people.
Get out.
No, get in.
Game of lists.
With a game of lists, you either do another list or you die.
The game of mothers.
Mommies.
Mother of podcasts. Mother
Yeah,
of
that's
comics.
good.
Mother of characters. Spitballing ideas here, guys.
The mother load.
Motherload of mothers.
Mother of loads. Okay.
Oh, God. That's
What?
really bad. No.
Well, a lot of things are gross, and
I veto that. Oh, God. Oh, God. I gotta prepare. I'm gonna be so confused because I'm still gonna say my name second because it has to be that way. So it's gonna be Welcome to the Phantom Zone. Ah! Oh God, I panicked! I have to stare at the tagline so I don't forget. I'm so nervous now.
You can do it.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Maybe.
You got
You can
this.
do this. Go.
What now? Oh, hello. Welcome to the Phantom. Hey, stop laughing at me. Welcome to the Phantom Zone. 3 fans, 1 podcast, and a sea of comics. And then you have to say your name because I can't go first.
Noah.
Kayla.
Jared.
Yes, I did it.
Yeah, you sure did.
It was a lot of build up to it.
Yeah.
I kind of panicked. That was obviously a neurotic introduction. I apologize.
Well, now that the listeners are completely terrified.
It was very aggressive. I'm sorry.
And just to paint a picture too of what was happening, we have some of the merch that we had announced, and she has the back of the shirt, the tagline.
Just in case. I forgot because I'm nervous.
That's one of the advantages of our merch. If you're on the show eventually and you have to say it and you'll have to say it, you can read it in a scared way.
It's no longer phone a friend because you have the dialogue right there.
So today is, I'm crying, but today is our Mother's Day episode.
Mommy's Day.
Yay!
The people that brought us into this world.
Yeah. We're celebrating moms and mommies, ma'ams, grandmamas.
Through the lens of comics, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. And we're going to talk about each other's moms too.
Yeah. Your mom is so worthy of celebration. How worthy of celebration is she? And then I do a your mama joke.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Like-
not doing that.
You don't want to do one your mama joke?
No.
I don't think I
That's
remember.
the lowest form of comedy.
Yeah, like if
Comedian.
somebody said something like your mama is so old I told her to act her age and she dropped dead, that'd be like the lowest form of comedy ever. Yeah, mama
So
jokes.
I'm changing the tagline. It's now
Two
2 fans.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about moms and comics, what makes them important, how they tick, how they work.
The good moms and the bad moms.
How they
okay.
nurture.
Yeah, and the okay moms.
Yeah.
Moms that are like,
You tried your
there.
best.
You're doing okay.
Like
As a
you-
mom.
You kind of abandoned the kid, but then like came back and you're like, hey.
Yeah, the big snake tried to eat it and you used your ice powers or something like that. I don't know. I'm just writing.
Yeah, so I mean, in origin stories, parents usually are a huge deal
Yeah.
to the characters. I mean, there's a lot of characters where either the mother like abandoned the kid or
Yeah.
adopted the said superhero
Or died traumatically in front of them.
I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah, it's another one of those things where it's like women in comics are kind of like used as like a launch pad for male adventures. So
Man pain.
Yeah, so the mom is usually like she is like abandons the kid or she explodes for some reason. Or something.
Just spontaneously.
It's just like
Who are you referencing?
yeah, I don't know. It's the superhero I'm writing. Like my mom exploded. I got to fight bank robbers now.
I mean, there are some characters where it's like, yeah, your mom died in childbirth, and then
And he's like,
that's
damn it.
That's all for that character.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so when you think of moms in comics, I think it's interesting, at least for me, that the first one that comes to my mind aren't necessarily like the biological parent of said superhero. So like Superman's mom.
Yeah.
which definitely,
Jarell.
I don't think about her.
No.
No, that's not her name.
What is it? I can't remember. What is
Just
it?
making random vowel sounds.
What is his mom's name?
That's his mom's name. I'm
Okay,
just gonna let
Jarella.
you sit with
Okay,
that.
cool. Yeah.
No, but Martha. I mean,
Yeah.
I think. I mean, she has died in some of the stories. She's still alive in some of them. But I think they're just she's such a good mom. Like,
You know how good a mom she is?
oh God.
The
think-
one time
Yeah.
Batman was going to kill Superman. And just her name, just Martha. Whatever, that was one of them.
I hate you.
Hey, but those two Marthas kind of personify the different the different pathways. So you either have like the adoptive mom that is a good parent and raises and instills really good values into the child, obviously Martha Kent. And then there's the other type of mom in comics where they're just like tragically killed
You get shot in an alley.
and also like kind of shapes the hero, but in a different way with Martha
That is
Wayne.
true. Yeah, that's very true. And I think without Martha, and obviously
Martha.
the other Martha, but I was gonna say Superman's dad, Jonathan Kent.
Yeah.
I think without them, particularly his mother, because there's so many panels that are just so beautifully done with Superman and Martha, and without them, I mean, we could have had like a bright burn Superman on
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
A red sun Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just so you know, if you don't read comics a lot, not all moms in comics are named Martha. That is not, don't get that idea here.
All right, guys, we're going to take a short little break that we can hear from our friends over at Associates Anonymous. If you've ever worked in the service industry or even retail, you definitely want to check these guys out.
Hey everybody, hope you're enjoying the show. We're just gonna hop in here real quick to tell you about another podcast you may enjoy. Our podcast,
Associates Anonymous, the podcast where we kick it with you every Wednesday to discuss the horrors of working in customer service.
If you've ever had the pleasure of working with the public in any capacity, or if you just enjoy hearing all the crazy stories that come with the territory, this is a show for you.
Each week, we dive into a topic and recount a few hilarious and or infuriating experiences we ourselves have had over the many, many years that we have spent in the customer service industry. From insane weirdos to coupons, from Black Friday to shipment, we cover literally all of it.
You can check us out on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or basically wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. You can also follow us on social media at facebook.com/Associates Anonymous, Instagram at Associates Anonymous Podcast, and Twitter at Associates_Anon.
Also, you can submit your own customer service horror stories for one of our monthly listener episodes via social media or by emailing them to us at associatesanonymouspodcast@gmail.com. I'm Sweets,
I'm Giggles.
and we hope you enjoy Associates Anonymous.
See ya!
So here's what we're going to do. We got a new format for you guys. What we're going to do is we're going to list.
excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited. So I'm going to list some of the most important moms in comics. And then we, as a panel, are going to rate their momness. How good a mom are they?
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm with you so far.
Yes, it's really cool. Now, we need a good metric, right? Well, like 1 out of 10 or whatever. And I think the perfect thing for moms is glasses of Kendall Jack Chardonnay.
Chardonnay, specifically. Nice.
Specifically Kendall Jack. Moms love it.
Okay.
And it goes up to 7 because once it gets to 8, then they start doing that thing where they say things they can't take back. So that's
it's
too
a
much.
scale of glasses. Chardonnay,
Yes.
1 through 7.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
I know
So we
my
gotta-
mom hates Chardonnay, but I'm
So
with
we
you
go.
on
Oh,
this.
she's
I
probably
really
had too
don't
much of it.
either, but I'm gonna become a wine aunt as opposed to a wine mom.
You mentioned your mom. So before we get to this, we're actually going to do a thing where we talk about our moms. What superhero would they be? Now, Kayla's going to do her own mom, but me and for a crisscross.
I kinda-
Crisscross.
I can do her mom.
Okay.
I
I
kind of
can-
did. I don't have to do anyone's
Okay,
mom
okay.
because that wording is atrocious.
So I'm going to do Noah's mom, and then Noah's going to do our moms. And I'm going to say it like that and not say it a different way.
This
Okay.
is derailing so quick.
No, this is great. We're right on track. Okay. So your mom, I think, is Maxima. For sure.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a great compliment. If you don't know, Maxima is a super badass. It's like strong as Superman and has mental powers and is very bossy.
Nice.
Yes.
Such a strong
Very
personality.
strong. Very strong. She wants it her way. She runs shit. So that's Noah's mom.
Nice.
So I'm gonna flip the character for your mom only because of the name. The name just makes so much sense for Jared's mom.
My mom's Wolverine. No.
No. Granny Goodness. But not evil Granny Goodness. Like if Granny Goodness
was literal.
What her name was.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, I know this probably won't, you guys won't care about this. His mom is the nicest person on the planet.
She's very sweet. Yeah.
There was a time where I just asked if there was mustard for a sandwich, and she said no. She came back with 4 different types of mustard that she just went to the store to get.
That's
I had
sweet.
already eaten the sandwich an hour ago.
Oh yeah.
But she's so sweet.
My mom's so sweet, and because she's really sweet, she'll say some really dark shit, and it's very funny. Like one time, she called me up for Memorial Day, which celebrates dead soldiers, and she was like, "Jared, I know that this. I just want to tell you, I know that you're not. I just want to wish you a happy Memorial Day, even though you're not dead." I was like,
Oh my God.
Thank you, Mom."
It sounds exactly like his mom. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so Kayla's mom.
I definitely would be Hippolyta.
Ooh,
Nice.
super sweet.
Yeah. I mean, she only has girls.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yep.
You and your sister and
9 girls in that family.
I have so many sisters,
a
guys.
whole island of girls. No, I don't know why. Like as soon as we were like, oh, we should like say what superheroes our moms are, I was like, Queen Hippolyta for yours. I don't know why that was the first one that came in my head.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Nice, yeah.
All right, get to what we were gonna do.
Okay. So our first mom that we're mom evaluating.
Yes.
This is what we're doing. And this is going to be an easy one, right? Let's just get started with it. Susan Storm Richards, the Invisible Woman.
Love her.
Fantastic, right? So I'll go explain this one, and we'll just sort of take turns explaining them.
Yeah.
If you don't know, Fantastic Four. She's one of the first awesome women in comics.
Mm-hmm.
She has the ability to turn invisible and use force fields for some reason. Those two are connected, but anyway. And she's like not from the beginning, but I think well into the 80s. Listeners, tell us when she had her kid. Being a mom has been a huge thing about her character, and family in general has been big in the Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
because they're pretty much all family.
Absolutely. And when you think about like the mom who's out there balancing her work and her family and doing it at the same time and kicking ass at all departments, Sue Storm is the one that comes to mind.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, she like takes working mom to a whole new level.
Yeah.
By literally being an intergalactic, interdimensional traveling mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's great. And her
Yeah.
kids, I mean, they're terrifying, but
Yeah.
they're good kids.
One has the ability to create universes in insane reality, and the other one is evil smart. I think you could. So that's scary.
So
but-
basically Reed.
Yeah. But she also has, what's cool is the ability to do something that I think every mom wants to do, which is encase her babies in impenetrable force fields.
Yeah.
So how good, or turn them invisible, I guess. If like, yeah.
Or she can turn invisible when they're like being crazy. And she's like,
Yeah.
nope, ask your father.
Yeah.
Can't find me.
When I think of Sue Storm as a mother, I always think of, because I just recently, reread it, that part in Civil War when she decides to switch sides away from her husband. And like, obviously they live together. That's where her kids are.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this internal monologue where she's like, this is what's right. I can't stay here and be party to this.
Mm-hmm.
I have to leave my children and my husband. It was just a very thought-provoking monologue. I love Sue Storm because she won't compromise her values for things like familial ties, which doesn't sound like a good mom, but it really is.
Yeah, I mean, it shows that she's not just choosing it because, I guess, Reed's on this side. I have to be with him. It's like, no, she has her own stances.
Yeah,
and she'll
exactly.
stick by 'em.
It was kind of nice to read. It was like, if I had to be a mom, I don't want to lose my autonomy. I don't want to be like, that's all I am now. I'm raising my kids. She doesn't let her personality be like overshadowed by the fact that she's a mom.
It's not, Sue Storm, the mother.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like a lot of moms, she's like, I gotta be a good mom all the time. But then she represses a lot of rage. And then there's a character that she becomes when she's like Malice, which is like evil Sue Storm. That's again like when she has a little bit too much wine. And goes, okay, so let's go ahead and rate this one because we got a lot of moms to do.
Wait.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
So is the least amount of glasses of wine better?
No, we want more glasses. Yeah.
Well, then I'm going to go 7.
Yeah.
Straight
7 out of 7.
I
Damn.
gotta say 7 out of 7 too on this one.
I'm doing 6 out of 7, but
Okay,
I love
not bad.
Sue.
Yeah. 6 is still a great score.
Susan, yeah.
And that's how many glasses of wine? That's a lot. We're probably
I would
fucked
say
up.
about 2 bottles.
Yeah,
Probably.
fantastic.
The way I drink wine.
Yeah.
I don't know what wine is at this point, so
Yes. Okay, cool. Okay, next mom. We're gonna go the other way with it. Mystique.
she's a great mom.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, exactly. What is it? So this will be interesting. What is it? What's her name? Raven. What's her last name? Darkholm. I was thinking Murder Claw, but that's not right.
Murder Claw.
Raven Murder Claw.
I think you were, for some reason, thinking of Ravenclaw, and then you were like, she murders people, so let's just...
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, anybody want to explain Mystique real quick? I
Go
can
ahead.
explain this.
You seemed like ready to go.
I'm
You're
ready.
just like this calling for being like a talk show host. This is yours.
Well, yeah. Well, you got to do something. But okay, Mystique is the shape-shifting character we all know and love from X-Men. Primarily a villain, like in her history, and up until recently, mostly because of what's her name, Jennifer Lawrence, I think.
Mm-hmm.
She's brought
her name.
more great
Been
to
a
the
little bit
character.
more protagonisty and stuff like that. But she's a villain, X-Men villain, and also she's the mom of Rogue and Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
The reason I say kind of is that she's the biological mom of Nightcrawler, but she abandoned him because she's great. And
Wasn't
then
she going to, like, throw him off a cliff or something?
That's very
No,
old.
that sounds about
Grecian.
I think
I
a
know-
bridge, maybe.
Yeah,
More
I
of
know.
a bridge.
Because the image that I'm picturing right now is like I know she has baby Nightcrawler and she's like holding him like this and she's on
Yeah.
a cliff and she was like, I have nothing. What else would I have except for sorrow and tragedy or
It's
something?
like
And
that edited GIF of Lion King where they just throw him off
Yeah.
the cliff.
good thing he can teleport.
And then also Rogue.
Yeah.
But Rogue is not her biological kid, but her kind of like adopted mom.
Oh, I thought you meant like she shape-shifted into Rogue's mom. And
No,
like,
no,
I'm
no.
your mom now. And
No. But Rogue was like a runaway, and she takes Rogue
Right,
away
right,
and turns her into a bad guy. So
fine.
yeah. So how are we going to evaluate her momhood?
You mean, the absentee father figure. This is now the absentee mother figure.
Which is more rare.
But
Yeah, it is.
did she redeem herself by like adopting Rogue?
no.
halfway. Well, because she also turns her into a bad guy
Yeah, exactly.
and uses her in a manipulative fashion.
Well, she raised Rogue how she thought.
She instilled terrible values.
yeah.
I'm gonna give her a 4.
Beginning of 4. That is way higher than I would have thought. It's your choice.
rating.
But I agree. Okay, so I think if it was just a Rogue thing, you'd be like, well, she loves her kid. That she's just kind of
Regardless if
distorted.
Yeah.
But she threw one away.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go a 2.
Hey,
I gotta
that's
go
me
with a
too.
2. You're
2
going a
glasses of
Okay.
Chardonnay out of 7.
It's
It's like, thank you for Nightcrawler, but also you're a terrible mother.
And I barely even have a buzz off of you.
I'm a dark person apparently.
I like how evil she is.
Our next mom. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with
Mom.
synonyms, and I came up with one that no one. Okay, anyway,
We got it.
Mater number 3, Hippolyta.
Yay!
Yeah, right.
Your mom.
Yes.
This one's difficult though. Okay, somebody else say who this
Okay.
is.
I mean, Hippolyta is Wonder Woman, Diana Prince's mother. Depending on when you're picking up Wonder Woman, she either sculpted her out of clay and her wish was granted, or it's her and Zeus's daughter, which I don't like that theory as much. So what's going with the sculpted out of clay? She wanted a daughter so badly that her wishes for motherhood made clay real and brought us Wonder Woman.
Yep.
She's also queen of the Amazons. She's elegant but also badass. I really love Hippolyta.
Yeah, I mean, and she's the embodiment of like strong, don't fuck with me. I'm very protective of my people.
yeah,
Type of. I mean, she has her pride and she'll protect them. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what she is.
yeah. It's like a trope where it's like not just a working mom, but like an important dignitary mom.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like,
She's very important, especially in comics. And I think a lot of people take for granted where Wonder Woman came from. And just even with the origins that you were talking about, like making it out of clay. I mean, I don't know how much you have to want something to come into reality, but
Yeah.
I know I've wanted things real bad
Yeah.
and it hasn't happened. She must have like really wanted it.
Like the scope of her will.
Yeah.
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 Plus, she's a queen of the Amazon, so she's probably got some spooky ass lady magic or whatever.
I feel like Hippolyta's a special example too, because a lot of the mothers that we've mentioned or will mention, they haven't been mothers since the whole time.
Yeah.
Where Hippolyta, ever since she entered comics, she's been a mom.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true.
So when I think of mothers, I think of Hippolyta first because that's just from the beginning. She's always been a mother. Some of the other characters we mentioned, some of the series, it's like when it's retconned, they don't have children yet, or
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So.
Okay, I got to throw some shade in here a little bit.
You dare?
I know. Just bear with me. There's also been a little Hippolyta Diana tension in the day. So, some of it comes from a little over motherhood, kind of overprotecting Diana, not wanting to let her leave the island, go to man's world, get knocked up or whatever it is. And then the other thing is that I think sometimes she's a little distracted by head of state, other responsibilities. She's got all of
As far
what's it called, Misfit Island or whatever. Like
The Island of Misfit.
that's it.
I mean, I think she was just protective of her. I mean, their whole thing is don't go into man's world.
Yeah.
I always just think of that quote from the movie that she tells her. It's, they don't deserve you. And I'm like, she's right.
Yeah.
But we don't deserve
That's how
her.
I see her. Like, I get what you're saying.
It's worth mentioning.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I think that right there sums it all up. She's like, you're gonna get hurt. They're not gonna appreciate
People are
you.
garbage, Diana. And
They're
I'm
all
like,
gonna laugh at
she's
you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are we rating? How many
7
glasses
out of
shard?
7.
You give 7 out of 7. I'm gonna do a 6 out of 7. Sorry guys, such a low number. So low. Okay, still very high scoring. The Hippolyta.
Clap, clap, clap.
Only the East German judge gave her a less than 7. Okay.
Next.
So Aunt May.
Interesting.
Yeah, not a biological mom, but
That's not Mom May.
yeah, that's right. Okay, next one. Okay, no, but probably the most dominant mom figure, right?
Yeah.
I know that's a weird
I
way
think
to
it's
say
similar to Hippolyta, though. Since Aunt May's inception, she's always kind of had at least the maternal role for Peter Parker.
it. For sure.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of what I was talking about with Superman. I think without Aunt May or Ben, Spider-Man wouldn't have the ideals or even the drive that he has now, or just the sympathy.
We forgot to explain her. You probably know, listener, who Aunt May is. But Spider-Man's parents were killed when he was a kid, and then his
Uncle Ben and Aunt May.
It was also his uncle was killed. A lot of people died, but he was left by Aunt May, and she took care of him. So this is Peter Parker's aunt.
That's pretty much it for that character. I mean, that's not all she does. Obviously, she's done so much more in the comics, but I mean,
she's like the trope of the. So we've mentioned some badass ones. We've mentioned like Invisible Woman, the most powerful member of the Fantastic Four. Mystique is like a shape-shifting ninja gun person or whatever. Hippolyta is a
Queen
warrior
of the
goddess.
warrior women.
Aunt May, I think, is our first one where she's almost purely a kind of suburban.
support.
She's a normal person.
Yeah. Her power to bake cookies and nurture is.
But the interesting thing about her, 'cause I can't remember what episode we talked about it in, but she's also kind of played the damsel in distress for Superman.
A lot of times,
or
yeah.
not Superman, Spider-Man. Sorry.
Well, that'd be interesting.
she gets around.
She crosses companies. But no, she definitely has, and I think that's always been an interesting aspect of Spider-Man and his relationship to his aunt, because I think that just shows. Because I don't think there's hardly any stories where Martha Kent is getting kidnapped, or I mean, nobody wants to go all the way out to Smallville. But, she's always like
Aunt May's in the most dangerous place in the world, New York City.
Yeah, so it's either like Mary Jane or Aunt May, those people that are really close to Peter. So I always found that interesting.
I feel like I like Aunt May because she shows a resilience that I feel like it's important for Peter to see. Like, because she's, like you had said, she goes through some terrible shit because villains, she's obviously a big target, and she's a normal person, where I feel like you can say that Hippolyta or Sue, Mystique are resilient in their own ways. They're strong women, but Aunt May is a normal person who goes through really traumatic things, and she doesn't break.
Yeah,
you
even
know?
before the superhero kind of hijinks, she's
Yeah.
dealt with an incredible amount of
she
trauma
lost
and
her
loss.
husband, and I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, I mean, I think that is a good point. You see Peter, Spider-Man, dealing with the death of Ben more tragically than you see Aunt May.
Yeah.
She's the one comforting him, and it's like, that was her husband.
yeah, exactly.
Something you mentioned, maybe you always forget she lives in New York. Because like early on, the images are like, I'm just gonna go churn this butter and then milk the cows, and it's like we're in like 37th Street. What are you talking?
She has a farm out back.
Yeah.
Living in New York in the Marvel universe is so brave.
Yeah. True that. Okay, so what are we scoring Aunt May?
I mean, how can you not go 7 out of 7?
I would have to do 7. What? I want to hear it. No, what's the negative?
No, I mean, I don't think it's negative. I'm just going to say a 6 out of 7.
I think I know.
Interesting.
It's because she's not badass.
Superpowered.
No, it's not that. I mean, especially recently, she's really not prominent. Or, I mean, you know what? There's Spider-Man continues on without Aunt May.
Not lately.
No, not lately.
I will tell you, if you're into the Nick Spencer Spider-Man, I've been reading. If you like you some Aunt May, check out that run because she's.
I'm not saying she's useless or anything. I'm just saying.
No, I could see being underwhelmed by little Aunt May. I totally get. Also annoyed by it's
Make
like
me sound like a dick.
you are a total dick, but no, but also I kind of understand it because it's like, could you stop being trapped by the Vulture and marrying my enemies?
I mean, to be fair, that was a dumb mistake on her part.
Okay, moving on. Next mommy. Some of you out there might know this mommy, but she's near and dear to our heart, and it's my mom. No. Rate my mom. No, it's
6.
It's Alana, a la Saga. So Alana from Saga.
I was like, that's not her name.
No. Do you want to explain who Alana is?
Yes, so she...
Saga again.
Yes. Hey, you know what? It's
Sorry,
good.
I just gotta drag you every single time. It's just funny.
But she is a good mom only in that the entire saga has to do with her and Marco being from 2 different races, 2 different sides of the war, have a kid. And Hazel is their kid, and they have gone through shit, hell, different planets, galaxies, all that stuff to protect this child. So if that's not something a mom should be doing, I don't know what a good example of a mom is. So I think she's great.
Yeah,
Great character for sure.
Yeah, she doesn't take shit from anybody.
I will say mild spoilers here. She has done some kind of negative stuff, some dangerous stuff.
She operates in the gray.
She's very realistic. Yeah, she's done
But
some.
never towards her momhood.
That's true. But she has been like, I wanted to do drugs and stuff.
I mean, she had a mild, like, I need to just decompress. I want to do something
True.
I want to do. So
We all
she
get
became
that.
a pro wrestler.
all moms, sometimes moms have really stressful lives and then they will start professionally wrestling and then they will begin doing drugs that look like chiclets. Everybody knows that. That is a thing that happens.
No, but I mean, one of the panels that I always think of whenever I think of her is she has Hazel when she's a baby holding her in her arms, pointing a gun at the person that's shooting at her, and she's bleeding because she got shot like 3 times.
Yeah.
But she's still holding her ground and still holding this kid.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, that's the picture of momhood right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk about a character named Alana because, side note, that's my D&D character for like the past couple of years. So I'm always like, Alana?
Nope, not that one.
No, not that one. But yeah, I like her a lot. I like her dynamic with Marco too.
Marco's her husband.
Yeah. I think she's a really, really unique character, and the dynamic is interesting because she's kind of like the tough one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But if I had
She
anything
calls the
negative to
shots.
say, I would say she's over stubborn sometimes. Like she's kind of a bulldozer of a personality.
That is true.
And I'm
That's very
afraid that it'll translate to that poor little kid.
true. If they all survive.
It's really
Yeah.
rough. But it's really cool too because like the whole reason they're all in trouble is because they're parents of this kid.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know the series, it's a Romeo and Juliet sort of star-crossed lovers situation.
And they're on the run.
Exactly. So the whole world is against her mommyhood, but her mommyhood is so strong.
Yeah.
I
Like
guess me saying that in the first part wasn't enough for Jared.
Yeah. No, but I just wanted to emphasize. I don't listen to you. Anyway, okay.
I literally said what you just said.
Well, maybe I was like, man, I just got an original thought, and I'm going to say it. But so where do we rank her? How many glasses of Chardonnays? 7.
I'm going to do 5.
You can do 5. I got to do 5 as well.
Yeah.
Just because. Okay, now look, it might be worth mentioning the more realistic you get with people, the lower. There's some like Hippolyta. It's hard to live up to the queen of the
Yeah.
Amazons.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Our moms are probably lower than, but
Well, because
Sorry
we
to
have to suffer the consequences from them.
yeah, exactly. Love you, mom. Okay, okay.
I don't think your mom
So-
knows what a podcast is.
So it's like we did that one. Now let's do maybe one of the better moms on the list. Granny Goodness.
So you're biased.
Yeah. what are we gonna do? First of all, Granny Goodness, one of the new gods. She works on the bad side from Apocalypse. She's like dark side's like broodmare. Yeah, exactly. So she's the nanny to the evil new gods.
I hate the term brood mother.
It's awful. Yeah, and I guess it's incorrect too because broodmare would be like the one that births them. This is like more the wet nurse or sometimes nanny. Granny goodness. Yeah, exactly. So as the new evil gods are raised up, Granny puts them into these sort of like death camp / Coliseum fighting scenarios.
Well, it's not just gods though. I mean, she runs the slave pits.
Yes, yeah.
So she is the overseer and overlord of the slave pits, and also her female furies, which are amazing as characters.
Terrifying.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah, they're terrifying.
They're technically like the new gods that survived the pits and kind of embraced it in a weird way. And she is the adoptive mother of all of them. I mean, she calls them her girls. And I mean, scot-free, Mr. Miracle is a product of Granny Goodness.
Oh, yeah. If you are from Apocalypse, she is your mom figure.
She is your agreed with, she is your mom.
Yeah. And outside of Scott-Free and Big Barda, most of them like her.
Yes.
Most of them are on her evil page.
The Furies, but I wouldn't say like the people of Apocalypse that got enslaved.
They're screwed. Yeah, they're definitely screwed.
They're like, I agree with this so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's an interesting mother figure for sure because she still did feed him.
She
feeds him.
I don't think, for me, there's no doubt in my mind that she very much loves Big Barda and Mr. Miracle and Kano and all she loves them. Don't you guys agree? I mean, she's deeply evil.
Kayla's like silently just listening to us praise this terrible person.
I think it's like she's like a Komodo dragon.
Should I do negative glasses?
Yeah.
Should I rank her empty bottle?
She just wants them to be strong and powerful.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to give her a 1 out of 7, I think.
Yeah.
Just because the sheer scope of what she took on is impressive.
Yeah.
So
she's getting one Chardonnay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
1 Chardonnay.
I give her a 4.
That is way high. It makes a lot of sense.
Only she's an interesting character, and she still does care about them.
She loves her evil children
She does.
so much.
Hey, she has fed them, okay?
I'm going to go 3. So I'm not too far behind because I think it's a weird thing. She's an awful person. But if motherhood is just about nurturing and creating like an adult, like in the culture,
from values and morality.
Yeah, because in the culture, this is being a bit like culturally relative, but like in the culture of not New Genesis, but Apocalypse, the idea is like she is good at raising adults that would be in that world. So I give her a 3 on that, but she is awful and evil and horrible. So I can't give her more
shut
more
your philosophy degree mouth.
And okay, next one. We're moving right along. Not too many left now. Let's go with Jessica Jones.
Aww.
I always forget she's a mom.
I love it.
So Jessica Jones, you want to explain Jessica Jones?
Jessica Jones and Luke Cage have a lovely little daughter named Danielle after their good friend Danny Rand. I love their unit. I never forget that she's a mom because the relationship is so cute because like Danny is like that weird uncle that comes in and just like he's basically kind of like / older brother.
Oh yeah.
So their dynamic is amazing. However, a lot of the time her and Luke are having problems and then she'll take Danielle and Danielle will stay with her. So that's kind of controversial.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they've had some difficult times in the marriage.
Sometimes it's off page too.
So I don't know much about that situation. Yeah. Is this kid still a kid in the comics?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it fairly recent?
Yeah. Well, so the early aughts, at least the early aughts in Bendis's run, where she was a baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's
and
like a toddler.
I think she's more of a toddler
Does
now.
she have powers?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Reader, if you know that she has powers, let us know. I don't think she does. I haven't seen anything.
I'm just curious because like what those 2 powers would make.
No, it's a
Yeah.
good question.
Yeah. Oh my
Maybe
God.
nothing because they're not mutants. They're like they both had experiments done
and
to them.
stuff,
So
yeah.
maybe nothing.
Hey, but their biology changed. Oh.
That's true. I wouldn't waste that opportunity.
Weirder kids have been born for weirder things,
Yeah.
like out of clay. So
Yeah.
and they have powers.
That's true. I would never limit it. But yeah, so and this is funny too. It's good to mention it because a lot of people that watch the show, like the Defenders series and her show, wouldn't think of her as a mom. As a matter of fact, when she starts that, she's probably the least mom-like character. So it's kind of cool that she rose from that place.
I was gonna say it's interesting because at the beginning you would never see her as a maternal figure at all, but she worked through a whole bunch and then got with a really cool dude. And
That's true.
yeah,
I could see her as a good mom. Only like if I'm basing it just off of the TV show. I mean, that's might be a little weird because she's a terrible person. But she has her moments.
we
where,
also
like,
know she'd be hella protective of that child.
and she has her moments where like I could see her rising to the occasion of
Yeah.
like if she had to be a mom.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's like she's that cool mom that you'd meet now. That's like really perfect, but she's like a neck tattoo.
Yeah.
And she used to be like a groupie for the Dandy Warhols or something like that. Yeah.
I'll give her a 5.
That's me too.
I'll go 5 too. I think this is the first mom we've all agreed on.
Yep. 5 out of 7.
5 Kendall Jacks. Sounds good to me. Okay. Here's another one. Probably kind of high on the list. Frigga/Freya.
Aw.
I do want to explain this if you're reading comics versus watching the movies, it's not kind of the same character. So it's Frigga is Thor's mom, right? And that's who we saw Renee Russo play in the movies. In the comic books, they've taken to the name Freya. And there's a different Norse god entirely, but for whatever reason, Jason Aaron wanted to make that Thor's mom.
Yeah.
It's not real. I think maybe because she's one of the Vanir instead of the Aesir. It's not really clear to me why.
Yeah.
But it's sort of the same character. Okay.
Wait, sort of the same character.
So, in other words, Odin's wife in the comics is Freya.
Oh, you're saying from the movie and in the
It's
comics.
Frigga.
Exactly.
Okay. I thought
But
you
in the
meant-
comics, it was Frigga for a long
Right,
time,
right,
too.
right.
Yeah.
It was just recently made Freya, but they kind of like, it's one of those soft reboots
Yeah.
where they never kind of mention why all of a sudden Odin's wife is
Looks
that. Yeah.
the same but has a different name.
Yep. And in this case, she's not Thor's. This is kind of cool because we haven't had one of those. This is not Thor or Loki's blood mother.
Nope.
This is her sort of like foster or adopted. I guess adopted would be.
I was
Yeah.
going to say
Yeah.
that's why I like her so much. Because she loves Loki.
Mhm.
I mean, she
I
absolutely
know.
does.
One of the only people that do.
Yeah, even over Thor sometimes.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, and she always has this like unwavering trust with them. Like whenever, not really spoiler, but in Jason Aaron's run, whenever he stabs her, and you think that like, oh God, Loki just killed her, she still forgave him. Like she still was like, I trusted you, and I'm like, what?
Well, he was trying to save her too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like, it's just that she had that already, even as he's literally stabbing her like in the back. Like,
Well, and post Endgame, I'm totally soft on Frigga right now
Yeah.
because her and Thor finally got that closure. Like, I love her relationship with Loki. She seems to be one of the only people that's willing to try to understand him.
Yeah.
And she just has such a fondness for both of her children. She's kind of just personifies maternal instincts and affection. But you know, post Endgame, I'm just like, oh my gosh.
and see that's why I always say that Dark World is one of my favorite MCU movies.
Dot,
only
dot,
because-
dot.
I know, I always get a lot of shit for saying that, but that's the most
Deserved.
you see her. That's the best relationship you see Thor with his family.
Yep.
And that's why I like that.
Also, an invention, their relationship in that movie, it's informed the comic books.
Yep.
Because the fact that she loves both Loki and Thor, that was never really in the comics. That was, especially the degree it was, they really created that in Dark World, and you see it in the comics now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
what
very cool.
that's and in Jason Aaron's run, whenever Odin was being a dick, big surprise, she stood up to him. Like she disagreed with how he was going about things. I won't say everything, but she really did stand up to him. And I like that a lot.
She's not to be trifled with.
Especially with Odin. Like
Yeah.
she's I remember a panel specifically where she's hit him. And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Dang."
Yeah, she's awesome because I think in
The damn.
in the earlier interpretation, she was more just like, I'll just
Yeah.
dust the vases.
She was definitely a background character.
And now she's straight up like, oh, also, she's just kicking ass right now. I don't want to spoil anything, but if you really loved her character in the movie, the War of Realms, Freya is kicking ass.
She's on the front lines.
Yeah. Okay. So how are we going to?
7.
7. I got to go
I'm going to do
7 too.
6.
Fine, Kayla.
Yeah, I know. We can't have a unanimous perfect mother.
And then we did, but not perfect.
Yeah.
She's like, cinnamon rolls are kind of.
Well, I mean, I agree that she's becoming more and more bold, and she'll stand up to Odin. But I feel like she'll say something, but she won't do anything. Do something when I feel like there's a points where she could intervene and actually stop Odin from making stupid Odin-esque decisions, and she instead just is like, "I don't agree, sweetheart."
Yeah,
and then goes away
and then stabs somebody. Okay, we just got a few more. Talia al Ghul.
Yikes! Yay! No.
The mother of my favorite.
I get
Robin.
to talk shit about Damien and Talia.
She given her kids, it's like the mother of dragons.
I mean, she is daughter of the demons.
Totally.
I love Talia. I mean, I kind of just explained
You
it right
wanna
there.
explain who
She
she
is
is?
the daughter of Ra's al Ghul. And
Infamous Batman villain.
yes, and she has given birth to Batman's kid, Damian Wayne.
Through really icky means, too. Like, it's pretty heavily implied that she kind of raped him.
Yes.
At least drugged him heavily to get that child.
Yes, because he did not. He was very confused.
Yeah.
And I think would have been a bad idea if he had chosen to have a kid with Talia.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why the story explained it that way, too, because he was like, I think Alfred is the one that was like, did you mean to? He's like, no.
It's
It
horrifying.
was like that Dave Chappelle character. He was like, I didn't touch her. I didn't do it.
But I think one of the points to give Talia, because depending on what story you're reading, she did give Damien to a much better environment. That sounds weird.
No, that's interesting. I think that's probably true.
Yeah, because I mean, one is the League of Shadows, or the
League of Assassins.
League of Assassins, whatever you want to fucking call
The
them.
League of Shadowy Assassins.
As opposed to Gotham. So,
She didn't just give him up to Gotham boarding school.
no.
Doesn't she also, send assassins after her son?
And hold knives to his throat.
Yeah.
Well,
Or swords.
depending, yes. She does, but it's only to make him better.
I mean, there's some truth here, which is just that in a more realistic sense, a lot of times moms will, like the idea of the tiger mom, where she'll kind of make, in the interim, her kid's life suck. Like, you're 6, but you got to play the fucking cello or whatever. But it's so that they'll be more powerful. I get like competitive or successful later in life.
Yeah.
So to me, Talia is the extreme super tiger mom. in a way.
Yeah. I mean, she does love Damien in a weird way.
Yeah.
It really depends on what story you're reading, but
I was
there's
gonna
been
say,
instances where she has said, I care about you?
I'm sorry I murdered you or
She's
sent
like-
another clone to kill you.
She's like, I love
did
you.
it for love.
I love you so much. Now catch this knife.
Pretty much. Okay, so I'm going to base my rating
Okay.
just on
Damien.
enjoyability and Damien.
Oh, that's hard now because we got to go back because I've enjoyed all these
retcon
mothers.
all of our other votes.
No, but fair enough.
I'm going to go 5.
Fine.
Whoa.
Damn.
Man, what? You
That
thought I
is-
was going to say 7?
No.
No, I thought you were
I
gonna
it would
say
be much
2.
lower. Yeah.
Oh. I'm going to say 5.
Okay.
I'm doing 1 because as much as I talk bad about Damien, I actually enjoy his relationship with the other Robins. So
Yeah.
I appreciate Damien's character, and it's because of Talia that he exists. So that's the reason I even give her 1 point. If you take Damien out of the equation, she's a terrible mother to him. 0 out of 0.
Yeah, I'll give her 2 because I think she's definitely gone too far. And what little Kendall Jacks I give her is because, she does care about him. She's not like, she didn't just like, whatever, I don't do whatever you want, loser.
I forgot what I rated her, but
You said
5.
5. You said 5. Yeah. We all.
I was going to say 4, but yeah, sure, 5.
Yeah. Why not? Okay. The penultimate one.
Okay.
And it kind of new to motherhood, but knocking it out of the park, in my opinion, Lois Lane.
Aw,
Right?
yes.
Absolutely fantastic.
Isn't that fun that they took a character that was really established as badass and awesome and everybody loves her, Lois Lane, and then created this new dimension to her, which is now she's a mom.
Yeah.
And it's like just killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's
Metaphorically.
Depending on what story you read.
Yeah.
No, she's still who she is. So there's this weird thing that happens in comics sometimes where a character becomes a mom,
Yeah.
and that's all they are now.
Yeah.
Even regardless if they were superhero or not. she was a reporter, a badass one, an investigative reporter to begin with, and she's still that, and also a mom. So she has not lost anything. In fact, I think it actually, in a weird way, adds more to her character, because you see this different side of her, because usually Superman's protecting her, but now she has John to protect as well. So, I mean, and she's worn the Hellbat suit to protect him. It's badass.
I mean, my relationship to Lois Lane is that picture that's like, you're doing amazing, sweetie. Yeah. Everything Lois does, I'm just a big fan of. So I'm just like, of course she will be a great mom.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Lois Lane is Superman's wife. Okay. If you don't know.
If you don't know who Lois Lane is, please stop listening.
No,
I thought you were telling me. I was like, what?
No, but it is, it's totally true. I think, just to underscore Noah's point, because it's a good one, and we haven't talked about it enough maybe, that a lot of times when women take on certain roles, especially like motherhood, they have to be completely defined by those roles.
Yeah.
Or even
and that's
married.
Yeah. And if you're listening and you're one of those people like, oh, the patriarch is fake or whatever, you're just resistant. I think this is a place where it's like, this is a real form of low-fi or low-grade misogyny that we kind of don't pay attention to, which is that if a guy has a kid in comics, if Conan gets one of his wenches pregnant, he goes and just bees Conan and just like stabs snakes.
They never mention that kid again unless he turns into some villain later on.
Yeah. But if the next scene of a woman has a baby,
it's her doing something else.
She's got to be swaddling the baby, and it's like, I can't play saxophone no more because of whatever she did before.
You could have named like any superhero,
or made it relevant to Lois. I can't work for the paper anymore.
Well, that's but she might be a fan of saxophone. I don't know, but
is she in a jazz band?
Yeah.
Why is there a comic about this?
I don't know, but either way, so it's cool, and I think you rightly pointed out that Lois maintains her, I'm not messing around, I'm a no-nonsense, hard-nosed reporter.
Yeah.
I will get in this magic suit that fights Kryptonians to protect my son. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because she fought the Eradicator in the Hellbat suit, which was so cool.
So what do we give Lois Lane?
7.
7?
I gotta go 7 too. For 7! Woo! I think a lot of it too is because she's assumed this role and taken to it so quickly and so well and everything like that. Good job, Lois Lane.
Also, I love her like being the mom during the sleepovers of Damien and John.
Oh my God.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, continue.
7 out of 7.
We're down to our final mom, guys.
Oh man.
Our final mom. Kind of. What do you guys think of the mom bona fides of the Scarlet Witch?
Hey, to be fair, I'm sure she has the one thing that so many moms wish they could have. Aside from Sue Storm turning invisible and her kids can't finding her. Yeah. But she can wish her kids out of existence.
Yeah, or back into existence.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's messed up. So the Scarlet Witch, of course, is the original, one of the Avengers who's a mutant and the kid of Magneto, and originally was a probability manipulating mutant that then became a witch and is now some weird kind of god reality manipulating character.
Who knows what Scarlet Witch can do?
Exactly. They pulled off.
You didn't say chaos magic.
That's right. I forgot about chaos magic. But they pulled that back somewhat. But either way, she's known for these sort of like infamous stories where she
messes up everything.
Yeah. Well, that and in the momhood thing that the devil Mephisto put parts of his own soul in some kids that she made.
How did she make that?
Yeah, we don't know. With her magic reality altering power. But I think it's worth mentioning, not only is this one of the most ridiculous and infamous mom stories, but she's so enraged when she finds out that her kids were never real, so taken away extra, that she loses her mind and tries to destroy the world. So that's that's a commitment to motherhood few of us have really been exposed to.
I don't like Scarlet Witch at all, but I can appreciate that. I mean, to be driven to that extreme because you really cared for your children and you found, I think there's something psychologically interesting about that plot.
I mean, I'm just saying Hippolyta handled it real well.
Well, we can't all be Hippolyta. Sometimes we have to destroy the fabric of reality.
She literally made her kid out of Play-Doh. So
Play-Doh.
No, I mean, I think regardless of how the kids came to be or what happened with them, They're cool kids.
I mean, she cared
Yeah.
about them so much that she lost her mind when she
Tried to destroy reality.
Well, one of them's cool. The other one they haven't really done much with. If you don't know, that her kids are Wiccan and Speed.
Wiccan.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, Quicksilver, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was their, just a brief aside, they had a hard time with that character that they haven't really distinguished him all that much from just a young
But
Quicksilver.
Wiccan is really cool.
Wiccan is very
I love Wiccan a lot.
And just got more spotlight, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So those are our mommies. Oh, wait. No. Scarlet
to
Witch.
rate her.
We got to rate
Come on.
her. She owes us some glasses of wine, I think. I'm going to give her negative points.
I'm going to give her a 3.
I can just give her no.
I'm going to give her a 2, and I don't like Scarlet
She
Witch.
brought her kids back.
Okay.
Wiccan exists.
She
Okay.
loves them.
That's a good point. Kind of in a distant way. I'll give her. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
was going to say one more point that when Wiccan and her did not know that he was her kid and she was his mother, that she gave him that advice to stand up to those bullies at school.
Yeah,
And
she's
he
like,
electrocuted him, but
she was just like, stay in school. Okay, later. Get out of my face, kid.
like she was pretty much like, well, why don't you stand up for yourself? And the like, stupid kid, and walked off. And then he electrocuted a bunch of high school kids. But
She was just like, don't touch me. Never, ever touch me.
So 2.
I'll give her, you've convinced me. I'll give her 1. I'll give her a glass of Chardonnay.
she's crazy.
Yeah, so those are our mamas. Mommies. My moms. This is creepy. Anyway.
Stop saying my mom.
Yeah. What other, does anybody know any other good words for moms?
How about mother?
Mother. Oh, like Danzig.
Oh my god.
Mother. Okay. I'm done. No, but I want to say, because I was going to say this earlier, that I was actually weirdly disappointed when we started doing a little research for the episode, because we looked up moms, and I thought what we were going to see is like kind of a smorgasbord of momhood in comic books, and we didn't see that.
No, it is weird because they do some stretches too.
Yeah.
Like there's a character that was dead and came back, but then their husband had a kid, and then she kind of was like, I guess I'm the stepmom now, but then like killed the kid. So it's like, well, is that a mom? Why is she on this list? Like, I don't know. Like it's there isn't enough representation of moms in comics.
Yeah,
I think that
so.
stems from, and I was thinking about this when you brought it up, maybe the women now are becoming more prominent, more developed characters recently.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be ample opportunity going forward if, there's going to be more women front and center, that some of them are going to choose to be moms, and that's
Yeah.
fine. So I feel like that opportunity may be coming.
And that's good, because I think what we've seen in comics thus far with moms is usually this sort of supporting role.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times it's the origin, or it's like the Aunt May character.
Yeah.
But what we haven't seen a lot of, and there's been some, but we haven't seen a lot of, the protagonist is a mom.
Yeah.
Especially like a single mom or whatever. And what's interesting is that like with Spider-Man, that character, it's the idea of like, this is the everyman character dealing with a lot of yada yada.
Yeah.
Dealing with a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think it would be good to have a character that was not just in the supporting cast, but like a protagonist of a character who was a mom, and that she was having to split half of her time, dealing with all the problems that mom. I mean, we kind of talk about this all the time, where moms are these huge heroes in society. Oprah's always like, that's the hardest job in the world. The fact that they're kind of like superheroes to us in our lives, but that we haven't seen one who can melt steel with their eyes as well, I think is a little bit disappointing, and I want to see that in the future.
Hopefully that's where it's going.
I definitely feel like comics are starting, because we say this a lot, reflecting the world we live in today.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to rush anything. I don't want them to be like, we should put more moms in comics because we're missing a bunch. But like, don't just make a mom just to fill some quota.
No, for me, I'm like, fill that quota. Give me, or at least not. You know what it's like? I agree. I think anytime that they sort of like do a token kind of thing, that doesn't feel good. But at this point, when you look at the history of comics, it's not that they are not doing tokens. It's that they have avoided the subject, avoided the opportunity.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, hey, we got Lois as a mom now, which I would have never thought would have happened, only because I didn't think Superman and Lois could have kids. But
and also
weirder shit happens.
I don't want it to sound like I'm like, we need to get these superhero ladies knocked up, get some babies. No, I don't mean that. I just mean it's a part of life that definitely needs representation.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at The Phantom Zone Pod for more podcast updates.